Hey, Coach. Given the last game, obviously the offense was really firing. Issues on the defense. Any consideration on tactical changes, whether it be formation or whatever, to be able to compensate without giving up what you've been able to accomplish on the offense?
No, no. We're going to be better at what we want to do. We're going to take our ideas and continue to make sure they count for even more, hold up even better in harder games, and so we're going to continue to make sure that as the season moves on, we are using every game to get better and better. Be a team that can score goals, make chances, control the game with the ball, but also press very well, and be a team that is hard to play against. Be a team that defends well, and so we're that part is in the part of giving away too many chances and giving away too many goals in the last few games. That part is there for sure, but it's the fix is not changing how we play.
Next, go to Luca.
Hi, Coach. In that same vein of improving what you've been working on this whole season, it kind of appeared to me on Wednesday night when the ball turned over at midfield, the rest defense kind of maybe being a bit too narrow, and that easily exploited the back line. So I'm curious what specifically you're looking at in terms of those midfield turnovers versus Cincinnati.
Yeah, I certainly respect your opinion. I don't see it the same way. I actually think our offensive marking or rest defense against DC United in a lot of moments was very good. In moments when we moved up the field with the ball, when we moved into the attacking part of the field, the final third, the organization and the positioning of our players behind the ball was quite good, and we were set up well to control things when we lost it. The biggest trouble that we had, the chances that we gave away, came from moments in the game where DC was a little bit more direct and hit some longer balls forward. And then our ability to deal with the first ball, the second ball, and then the moments when they were on top of the second ball and they had attacking players who from there were ready to run through or run behind. That was something that hurt us a little bit. And so for sure that's an area that we're going to continue to try to clean up.
Next, go to Sean.
Good afternoon, Coach Bradley. I know that you've had opportunities where you saw young players as a teammate where they handled success the wrong way at a young age. Julian Hall doesn't seem to be doing that. Hall seems like he's applying himself every single match, every single training session, and he gives a work rate that you've complimented. So what makes Hall very different from other young players who've had early success but handled it the wrong way?
Yeah, Julian is one of a number of our young players who has a really good mentality. He's a product of his family. He's a product of his football upbringing in our academy, and so he's a young player who has a really comes in every day ready to work, ready to train, ready to try to improve, ready to take the qualities that he has and make sure that they can hold up even better as the level goes up. He's so open to being coached, open to trying to take ideas and apply them. So we're really happy, really proud of Julian, but the same would go for Audrey. The same would go for Maddie. The same would go for Tanner. The same goes for so many of our young players.
Next, go to Anthony.
Coach, a few weeks ago, I asked you about Rubalcaba in the sense that he was passing the eye test but not the stats, and now he's scoring goals. On the opposite side of the field, you've got Cade Cowell, who's in a similar position where he seems to be passing the eye test on the field of doing everything, but hasn't gotten everything going statistically. How confident are you that he is going to be able to produce on the stat sheet? And is there anything that you're working with him on confidence-wise or tactically to be able to get him there?
Yeah, we're very confident that Cade is going to, over the course of the season, score his goals and make his assists. He's had a really good start to the season. It hasn't necessarily meant that he has the goals to show for himself, but he, in terms of coming in, understanding how we want to play, understanding how that is a little bit different than maybe some of the teams he's played in the past. He has been really open to taking who he is as a player and trying to make sure that it adapts and can really be a positive in how we play. And so he's had a lot of really good games for us. And so we work with him every day on some of the little details, some of the things that we can hopefully help sharpen up, just so that he is, getting in more good positions, able to be on the end of more good attacks, more big chances, more shots, more dangerous balls across the box. And so we feel really good about the progress that he's making, and I know that he's gonna have his goals and assists to show for it.
Everyone, we have time for 2 more questions to Coach. First, we go to Luca.
Coach, it's an interesting thing with the regular season to be having the return fixture against a team you played 3 weeks prior. I know you might be inclined to say it's just another game and you're focused on one game at a time, but I'm curious if there really is any type of added factor on your end, or thinking about their end with the 2 close meetings.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's certainly one of the unique parts of Major League Soccer is that sometimes the scheduling means you can play the same team twice within a few weeks and then be done with them for the entire year. Obviously, we've had that with Montreal and now Cincinnati. We for sure try to look back at the first game with them and understand a little bit how, what went into that, how they played on the night, how they tried to set themselves up to deal with us. And then you compare that with how they've played over the last few games, and are there things that have changed? Are there new players? Are there little tweaks that they've made to what they're trying to do? And so, we take all of that into account as we prepare the group to step on the field tomorrow night.
And we'll finish up with Anthony.
Coach, this is a really condensed 2 weeks, essentially, and roster rotation is so incredibly important. You do have a lot of young players, which means, legs that don't have a lot of miles on them. How are you planning on managing that rotation in Cincinnati, knowing that you've got NYCFC midweek and then the big game next week against Dallas at home?
Yeah, it's a busy period. The games come thick and fast. We feel really good about the squad that we have. It's why we train the way that we do. It's why we push things every single day to try to have a team full of guys who are ready in any moment to step on the field, to play the football that we want, to compete. And so we feel good ahead of a busy week, ahead of a busy stretch, even beyond that in any given moment we have the ability to put guys on the field and they're going to be ready. So we'll continue to evaluate over the next 24 hours where guys are, how guys feel coming off of Wednesday night, and then be ready. Make the best decisions and have a group that steps on the field tomorrow night ready to go after it from the first second.